Yo, it's been a minute since I made a video. I've been working on a little YouTube movie documenting my sister's wedding, and that's been going fantastic. It's been going great, like with the suit fucking testing and everything, like fucking fancy suits, fancy dresses, like good food, like nice scenery, all that shenanigans and shundies. And yeah, so the topic of the video today is gonna be on why people struggle to handle pressure, and we're gonna dig deeper in on what you can do to learn how to handle this pressure and develop the skill of it being secondhand nature, like actually you want to be at that point where like you get the opportunity to experience pressure and like you have like a little celebration, like let's fucking go, bro. I get to put my put my foot into the door and tackle this task head on first, man. Like it's been a while, let's get it. Could even put that into context with me making this YouTube video. Like haven't done it in a minute, and like as soon as I got that feeling to get stuck in, I immediately like took action. It's secondhand nature, man, because like I both that sort of characteristic in me. Okay, if I get the urge to do something productive, I'ma do it. And I've been really busy with work. Actually, I'm watching the time. I need to clock off soon. And being injured and sick, so I haven't been training much, but obviously get more locked in towards that. But I've learned a lot recently, and I've been learning a lot, and I've been educating myself a lot, and I've been speaking to a lot of different people. And uh, a common thing that I've came across in a lot of people is the ability to handle pressure, you know, and how common these people I know have interacted with and met in the last few years and recently have like reacted to pressure, or like sorry, how like consistently they experience pressure. Yeah. And usually the average person is like not even 20% of where it's supposed to be to like be able to confidently say you can handle any sort of stressful or any sort of situation that there's a lot of pressure involved. And part of the reasons why that is because people don't have a pipeline of events behind them when it comes to them experiencing new things. A lot of people want to be prepared for the wrong things, but when it comes to them being put in the spotlight, where it comes to their life, like taking a general turn of direction for something great or beneficial, they fucking freeze. They get hard stuck, and they fold under pressure. They don't handle that pressure well, and they don't know how to fucking react. And the way you're supposed to avoid this inevitable reality, if you're not prepared for it, is by obviously being prepared and having a pipeline of you consistently experiencing the pressure that you want to be exposed to, putting in the work, being consistent, and not losing track of your path for 100% results and 100 like not 100% progress, but definite progress in what what you're trying to achieve with what comes with that pressure that you're going to face, and you can put this into context, right? Say for an example, you just finished studying your 3-year degree, right? You're sitting back, you're relaxed, cooling off, man, and you haven't worked in 2 years and you're living with your parents. You've got this really good fucking degree, man, that can take you really far. Also got to keep in mind, when you get a big paycheck, that comes with big responsibilities. You're not going to be walking in for a cruise bowl. There's a very few careers out there where you're going to be able to get a big paycheck and not be able to fucking put in for what you get out. You feel me? So, in that regard, you just want to always be one up ahead of your game. and you always want to be that person who is always one step ahead when it comes to you having that pipeline of you having proof that you've been consistent for whatever sort of craft you're trying to build. You feel me? And now, if you're in this sort of student's position, sitting back, laying back, and 2 years no work, living with these parents, right? Now, something happens in his life where he has to lock in and take care of himself, or he falls in love with a woman who, who is financially doing better than him, or she's actually got things behind her, and it's like, oh shit, I have to do something now. The woman who I love is and it takes a woman, or it takes something that happens in your life to try and flip that shit around. And now when you finally put yourself in a position where you're gonna experience pressure, you're gonna have a hard fucking time. And it's initially equivalent to stepping foot into an exam you haven't prepared for and expecting to get results. You're not gonna get results, buddy, and you're not gonna make over 50,000 rand a month stepping foot into a career you haven't built experience on through even trial and error. You're not gonna get anywhere, you're not gonna do anything. And it's not because you're not good at it, it's because you haven't spent time getting good at it. You feel me? And you're not gonna handle the pressure. And you're gonna be exposed to a lot of things that are gonna humble you when you get put in those positions. You're not naturally capable of doing these things that you're not equipped for. And when it comes to being a responsible adult who wants to be very successful in terms of themselves and what they're working towards, you have to be organized, man. And organization doesn't just come to your fucking documents on your PC, or your fucking journaling notes, or all of that. It also comes down to your life, buddy, and the skills that you're supposed to be developing over time. Equipping yourself and finding the time in day to be able to prepare for something. For an example, that's gonna have a lot of pressure in the situation you're gonna be involved in. And being able to handle pressure comes into play with so many different things in life outside of work, okay? Outside of investments, outside of branching out, family, relationships, especially as a man when it comes to decision makings. Decision making outside of businesses, man. If you aren't taking care of the decisions that you're supposed to be making in your home, with your family, with your wife, with your kids, for the example you should be putting on them, with everything that you have going on in your life, if you haven't got all of that in line, everything else around you is gonna fucking crumble. And that's part of the reason to why a lot of successful men end up not so successful, because everything else in their life becomes unorganized, it becomes untidy, getting involved in chaos, what they shouldn't be doing, they just slip through their fingers. And that's somebody who you don't want to be. Always want to be prepared, man. Don't be the person that lets things slip through their fingers eventually. And yeah, just don't be a person that tolerates shit, And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by being equipped and undeniably good at what you're stepping up towards. And like I was talking about, for example, being a man when it comes to relationship, family, wife, kids, etc., it's you feel the pressure when you can also acknowledge it, when you are aware that you're supposed to be what's at stake behind this if you don't get it done, if you don't succeed in this, And like I said, just out of context of businesses and work, now you can put this into context of businesses and work where you're trying to make money and shit, when it comes to you understanding the importance of pressure. In a lot of places, you should be feeling it, that are important, that would impact a lot of things. You feel me? Never try to be Mr. Wise Guy, just trying to share my experience of what I've learned that's genuinely helped me and pulled me out of a lot of dark places, and also what I've seen around my life. So learn how to handle pressure. It's not a natural gift, It's something that's developed over time. Deuces.